If the Pacific Rim scenario happened in real life, what would happen to Earth and humanity? In the movie Pacific Rim 2013, director Guillermo del Toro created a world where Earth faces an unprecedented threat: Kaiju, giant monsters from another dimension. They invade through the Breach, a transdimensional rift located at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. Each Kaiju, when appearing, is the size of a skyscraper, weighs thousands of tons, and is capable of destroying a city in just a few hours. They are not single creatures. Behind the Kaiju is an alien civilization called the Precursors, using them as biological weapons to take over Earth. First, we need to analyze Kaiju. Unrealistic biology, a creature dozens of stories tall, weighing thousands of tons, would have difficulty surviving in reality due to biological limits. Bones, heart, lungs, metabolism would not be able to withstand it. But if we assume that Kaiju come from another dimension, they could carry a completely new biological structure: organic titanium bones, super compressed muscles, and a biological nuclear power source. Each appearance equals disaster. A Kaiju emerging on the coast will create tsunamis, earthquakes, and destroy coastal infrastructure. Tokyo, San Francisco, Hong Kong, Sydney will become the front line. Ecological impact: Kaiju can swallow thousands of tons of marine life. If they survive for a long time, they will disrupt the entire ocean food chain. Whales, sharks, and even corals will disappear in a few decades. Human society: every time Kaiju attacks, millions of people have to evacuate. Coastal cities will gradually be abandoned. Many countries that depend on ports and sea trade will collapse economically. Kaiju are not simply large creatures. Each one carries with it serious environmental consequences. Kaiju blood, toxic or radioactive, seeping into the land and sea, creating ecological dead zones. Exotic diseases, bacteria, viruses from other dimensions can infect humans, causing uncontrollable pandemics. Climate change: tsunamis, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions continuously. Global climate becomes extreme. Earth will no longer be a peaceful blue planet, but will turn into a giant battlefield between two dominant species, humans and Kaiju. The Kaiju in Pacific Rim are not natural creatures, but biological weapons created by the Precursors with a terrifying feature: they have the ability to continuously evolve through each generation. Every time a Kaiju is defeated by a Jaeger, the data about the battle is sent back to the Precursors, and a new version is born, directly overcoming what defeated its predecessor. This is a form of forced evolution, where selective pressure does not take millions of years, but only a few weeks or months in an alien laboratory. Therefore, Kaiju do not evolve slowly like Earth creatures, but evolve like a living weapon production line. The first generation of Kaiju are usually just giant, slow masses of muscle, easily destroyed by Jaegers with concentrated fire. But very quickly, improvements began to appear: thicker skin to withstand artillery shells, more elastic muscles for fast movement, internal organs adapted to the pressure and radiation of the deep sea. Some individuals also develop special biological abilities, such as secreting corrosive acids, creating electric pulses, or emitting energy similar to nuclear reactors. When their brains were upgraded, Kaiju not only attacked instinctively, but also knew how to coordinate, use pack tactics, and even act as bait for their own kind to attack Jaegers. This evolution always put humans in a passive position. As soon as they finished building a new Jaeger, the Precursors launched a Kaiju with counter characteristics. What makes Kaiju even more terrifying is the diversity of their forms. Each form is designed to suit a specific environment and combat target. From the very beginning, the first generation of Kaiju, such as Knifehead, a giant monster with a sharp head like a blade, caused terror when killing many Jaegers. Leatherback emerged with massive muscles and an electromagnetic field that could disable the Jaegers' electronic systems. Otachi took on a dragon form, capable of flying, spitting acid, and fighting both in the air and on the ground. The culmination of this wave was Slattern, the first Tier 5 Kaiju, who was massive beyond all previous Kaiju and possessed the ability to command others like a general. Each generation is not only larger, but also tailored to suit a specific environment and tactic. Deep-sea Kaiju with long bodies develop fins, moving like giant sharks, specializing in destroying submarines and underwater bases. Kaiju raids the city with solid muscles, long legs, and a weapon-like tail, capable of crushing an entire neighborhood with just one sweep. Flying Kaiju has giant wings, can create shock waves when flapping, and knock down Jaegers from above. Special Kaiju possesses biological weapons, spraying acid to corrode steel, creating electromagnetic waves to paralyze machines, or emitting radiation to destroy large areas. Highly intelligent kaiju with a developed brain, knowing how to analyze and coordinate tactics, turning the battle from human versus monster to human versus organized enemy. Hybrid kaiju Jaeger, the pinnacle of evolution, combining biological body with machine technology, having both muscular strength and the ability to control and learn like a machine. This diversity proves that kaiju are not just large and powerful, but also a living ecosystem of weapons designed by the precursors to adapt to any situation and any type of weapon created by humans. In response to this threat, humans have created Jaegers, giant robots up to 80 meters tall, weighing thousands of tons, controlled by two pilots connected neurologically through the drift system. The battle between Jaeger and kaiju becomes a battle for survival that determines the fate of humanity. A Jaeger can cost hundreds of billions of dollars. Only superpowers have the financial and technological resources to build it. This forces the world to cooperate, or vice versa, creating a new arms race. The 80-meter-tall robot needs a super strong frame made of materials far superior to today's steel. Power source must be a nuclear reactor or an equivalent technology. Weapons, plasma cannons, energy blades, giant missiles. The first generation of Jaegers, such as Coyote Tango or Cherno Alpha, were primitive, heavy, and slow, relying mainly on thick steel armor and artillery fire. They consumed huge resources but proved that humans were not completely helpless. After each failure, Jaegers were upgraded. Crimson Typhoon was a testament to creativity when China built a Jaeger Mark IV with up to 3 pilots to operate 4 flexible arms. Striker Eureka, an Australian Jaeger Mark V, became a symbol of cutting-edge technology with its superior speed and long-range missiles, considered the pinnacle of Jaegers before Gipsy Danger entered the legend. It was Gipsy Danger, with a pair of pilots Raleigh Beckett and Mako Mori, who proved that not only technology, but the synchronization of human minds and drift was the most powerful weapon. In Pacific Rim Uprising, a new generation of Jaegers appeared to deal with the evolved kaiju. Gipsy Avenger inherits the spirit of Gipsy Danger, carrying plasma blades and turbojets. Bracer Phoenix is an upgraded Jaeger with a powerful vortex cannon. Saber Athena is the fastest Jaeger in history with a pair of sharp energy blades. Guardian Bravo is equipped with an electromagnetic arc whip. Titan Redeemer is famous for its giant hammer in close combat. Each new Jaeger is a reflection of the same philosophy. There is no single perfect design, but there must be diversity to deal with the ever-changing kaiju forms. A human cannot control a Jaeger alone because the amount of neural information is too large. So drift, a neural connection between two pilots, becomes the solution. But this poses a new risk. If the two are not in sync, the Jaeger will fail immediately. The Jaeger program becomes the #1 priority, surpassing nuclear. Whoever controls the Jaeger equals the new superpower. Global budgets are sucked into building Jaegers. Civilian technology will be delayed for decades. Becoming a Jaeger pilot will be the most noble profession. Society worships them as real superheroes. Kaiju not only forces humans to build robots, but also forces us to change ourselves. Jaeger pilots need strength, endurance, and the ability to withstand mental pressure, so gene editing technology, physical enhancement drugs, and biological implants will become the norm. Drift forces 2 people to connect their memories and emotions. A new generation of pilots will grow up with the ability to share minds, even blurring personal boundaries. If kaiju lasts for centuries, humans may divide into 2 groups: civilians who live in hiding, and Jaeger warriors who are trained and genetically modified from childhood. But that is just the beginning. In fact, as kaiju continue to evolve and appear more and more, the question is not only can we build Jaegers, but also, are Jaegers powerful enough to save humanity or just delay its destruction? And that's the whole scenario if Pacific Rim becomes true. An Earth overrun by kaiju, Jaegers become the last hope, and humanity is forced to evolve to survive. Although this scenario is just fantasy, it raises a very real question. Can humanity unite to overcome common threats? If you find this video interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to give me more motivation to make more attractive what-if content. If you have the chance to become a Jaeger pilot, are you willing to connect, drift, and fight kaiju? Thank you for accompanying us until the end of the video. See you in the next what-if episodes.